Welcome back. I am your man, Skins fan all day. As you can see, we are the Commanders. Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate you very much. Don't forget, guys, on your way in, go ahead and make sure you go ahead and smash the thumbs up on your way in. I greatly appreciate you for coming in. Without you guys, there would not be me. There would not be a Skins fan. So I greatly appreciate the support and the love that you guys bring in. So the question for today is, well, for tonight is, are you guys mad at the name Commanders? I definitely would like to get your input on this and see how you guys' reaction is. I saw a lot of reaction today. A lot of fans are actually kind of pissed off. We're actually not happy about this name. I think this is a name that would not grow on us at all. I don't even care if we are winning. It's just it's just a name that I don't think that will grow on us. To be honest with you, um, things gonna be really hard, really hard to catch. It's just the name Commanders just don't sound right in the NFL. I was expecting an animal, maybe. Um, I'm not gonna say red wolves, but some type of animal. I was thinking hogs because the name came out on Groundhog's Day. So, like I said earlier today, I'm not happy about the name. I will never be happy about this name, Commanders. And I don't see how they say this name is actually tradition. You know, I don't understand. It's Washington Redskins. We got the Hogs connected with this team, which was the offensive line. Yeah, the posse. I just don't understand where commanders come from. Commanders don't have anything to do with the football team. Um, so, what are we actually commanding? Better play on the field? Are we commanding double digit win seasons? What are we actually commanding? Are we commanding, Daniel Snyder to set his own team? You know, are we commanding them to put out a better product? Are we commanding a new stadium? Are we commanding the better food choices at the stadium? Are we commanding better parking prices? You guys tell me. Um, what are we commanding? That's what I want to know. What are we commanding? Of course, I'm not happy about the name. I never will be happy about the name. I don't know about you guys. I can't get over it. I just can't get over it. Um, I'm looking at these unis. This one, the black one right here, the black one, yeah, that one right there, that one's hot. I like the black. Um, I would definitely purchase that. I see a lot of people was talking about the W on the helmet, but it also has the number on the side as well. I don't know if y'all saw that. What's up, Goose? We got Gene in the building. We got Hawk. What's going on? Washington. He said, Washington Diehard fan, what's going on? He said, Jason dropped the ball. Of course. This is typically Washington. They are definitely going, I'm not going to say we, because I ain't do it. They definitely going to drop something, you know. But are you guys mad about this name? I want to get you guys real input of how you guys actually really feel. Do you think you guys will ever connect with this name? Will this name ever get into your spirit? Yes, we're the commanders, commanders. I mean, me personally, I don't think so. What's up, RTO? What's going on? Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Don't forget, guys, on your way in, go ahead and smash the thumbs up. If you haven't, thumbs up button is free and it's easy. Anybody that's in here that's not connected with me, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on bell notifications so you would not miss out on anything that I upload and have to offer. Again, guys, I cannot do this without you. So if nobody else said, I'm gonna say thank you because without you, there is no me. Appreciate it. I can't wait. I can't wait till we all get up together again, Hulk. you know, like we did before, as far as preseason and stuff like that. What's up, Reddit Red? What's going on, brother? Preseason might go to some of these games, you know, training camp. But this one right here, I definitely rock that. Well, I put a mean outfit together with that mean outfit. Um, this one right here, this one, I don't really like that one. That one looked like the Falcons. It looked like the Falcons. Lord of Houston, what's going on, player? Thank you guys for coming through. Haven't seen you in a minute. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead, guys, and share this out if you can. Let me go ahead and share on my live. I don't know why YouTube is not sending out my noties. He said the black is hard. I can't lie. I know, brother. You might as well come back home, brother. Come on, be a Washington Commanders fan. We're not the Redskins no more. We're not the Washington football team. Come on home, brother. A lot of people say the black unis. I mean, that's the main uniform that everybody like is the black ones. So I really do like those. I would have preferred Red Wolves because I can imagine Red Wolves on that black uni. Fire. I can imagine how that would actually look. He said, what? Ned Flanders? Appreciate you guys over, man. Washington fans. I'm gonna wait till some Washington fans get in here. But like I said, I'm not too pleased about the name. The name would never ever grow on me. I'm sorry. I just can't fathom. I just can't picture me saying that I'm a Commanders fan or Commanders fan all day. Like somebody asked me earlier, Skins, I even change your name. Y'all not the Skins no more. I said, no, I ain't changing my name. That's my name. Skins fan all day. Everybody know who I am. You say on YouTube. On YouTube, you said Commanders fans ranting about the name. Yeah, I know. that's how we don't like the name. They keep saying that. I mean, they straight lied to us for once. Nobody picked this name. I'm sorry. Nobody, all the fans that came together, nobody came up with the name Commanders. That's a bunch of bullshit for real. Because we didn't, nobody, all them thousands of letters and pictures and stuff they sent in, ain't nobody come up with no Commanders. The majority of stuff was Red Wolves, Red Tails, a whole bunch of other stuff, Hogs, and a whole bunch of stuff. Nobody came up with Commanders. They came up with the Commanders behind the scene. They should have gave us what we asked for. The fans have spoken. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be the first to say it. I'm mad because I'm not going to get over it. I'm not going to get over it. I can't. Because we are the fans. The fans matter, correct? Don't the fans matter, guys? To be honest with you, they asked for our input. I'm gonna keep saying it because they did it. And for those who actually sent in some things, y'all should feel like some hoes. I hate to say it like that, but I mean that's how we should feel used up because they used us, they manipulated us, they sucked us in, they got us excited. We all was thinking, oh man, the Red Wolves thing might go down, and all of a sudden, here they come some trademark crap, which a bunch of bull crap as well, and they snatched our soul from us again. That stuff not fair, man. It always Washington. Stadium falling apart. The food is trash. Parking is ridiculous. We got a dumb owner. They can't keep a secret. Emails coming out the butt. Sexual harassment cases, allegations. They botched Sean Taylor thing. They botched the name. I don't know what's going on with this organization, man. It's like these people just they definitely don't give a crap about the fans. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because if y'all believe they really care about the fans, they showed you today. They showed you in this past year that they really care about the fans. If y'all think they care about your fans, raise your hand. Yeah, right. Because if they really care about the fans, they would have gave us what we wanted. It's not hard to give us a name. It's not hard to give us a name. Commanders don't have anything to do with Washington football. I'm sorry. Commanders don't have anything to do with the Redskins. Yes, I'm venting because I'm pissed off. I'm gonna be mad. I don't care when the season starts. We still Redskins. Might as well kept Washington football team. I was listening to JP Finley and Brian Mitchell earlier today. A lot of people was calling in, man. Like 90% of the people was calling in was not happy. I mean, was not happy about the name. And then, of course, Brian Mitchell going to say, I don't see nothing wrong with the name. Oh, he's a coon, you know. Of course, he's going to say what he got to say to keep that money coming in his pocket. But I just don't. I heard a lot of people say they jumping ship. They are jumping ship. I heard people say they was going to the Ravens. I heard people say they was going to the Chiefs. I'm like, dang, is it that serious? I mean, I'm upset, but I can't jump. I can't jump squads like that. That's a no. I can't do that. What's up, Merle? I definitely want to get your input, Merle. Chop, I want to get your input as well. Chop, if you can come on the panel, Chop, Merle, if you can come on the panel, I definitely want to hear you guys' input. I know you got a mouthful to say. I connected with I reached out to Redskins Review earlier today, guys. Man, he's supposed to be collabing soon. He's upset as well. He's angry. I mean, a lot of our fans are angry, and I can understand why. My main reasons why I'm angry. Louise, what's going on, player? The main reason why I'm upset is how they did the fans. We did not choose. The fans did not choose Commanders. Why did they ask for our input? Why did the fans give them what we all wanted? Just about, I'm going to say about 85% was the number one name that we asked for, and they didn't give it to us. I don't care about no trademark. That's BS. This is a $1 billion team company. They can buy out anything they want. I just don't understand. Why would they do us like that? Why would they suck us in, make us feel special, and then just snatch the soul right out of us? And then that's why everybody's mad. Now, if it was a name, let's just say the fans did, turn in Commanders and stuff like that, and that was one of the top, 8 or 5 or whatever. I can understand that, but Commanders was not on that list. No, Commanders was not. They already chose this name. Everybody in the organization, coaches, old players already chose his name. Fans didn't choose his name at all. We chose Red Wolves. They supposed to give us what we asked for. Straight up. They want the fans to come. They want the fans to show up and show support. They want the fans to buy the merch. I guess they're saying they know the fans is going to show up. They know the fans is going to buy the merch. He said they act like they don't have money to get the name Red Wolves. Exactly. They definitely got the money. That's my main. They lying. It's not about the fans. It's not about the fans. They don't believe that crap. Am I still going to support this team? Yes. I'm always support Washington. I grew up a Washington Redskin fan. I actually seen 2 Super Bowls, so I am a fan. At least I can say I did see my team win a Super Bowl twice. And there's some people, there's some fans of other teams that haven't seen that team win a Super Bowl at all. So that's crazy. Elias, what's going on? WWE stands for Walk with Elias. What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Don't forget to smash thumbs up on your way in. I'm gonna go ahead and let Merle come on. And Merle, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Skins fan? You,
Commanders.
you know, you know, this is another example of this organization doesn't care about the fans at all.
Exactly.
Do not tell me that the fans pick Commanders.
Nope.
Every
We did.
every fan of this team I know want either Red Wolves or Red Tails. Commanders never came out of their mouth. And it's because of a front office that doesn't care. Let me peep you into a little game here. You probably know because you follow the team like I do. But on the business side, there's fluctuation on in that front office. People are leaving daily. Now, I read an article by Nikki Javella, the guy who was supposed to be head of looking for the new stadium,
Yeah.
Damon Jones. He came from the Washington Nationals. He'd been there for 13 years and came over to to the Commanders. He's gone. There's rumors going on now that Jason Wright is about to leave. He's
No.
going back into he's going back into politics.
No way.
But yeah, it's because of the work atmosphere around there. There's
I mean,
something going on inside that building that we don't know what's going on. And you can't blame Dan for that because he's not at the building no more right now. He's taking a sabbatical. It's all Tanya Schneider running. And
it also.
something else. There's something else interesting. I don't know. Did you watch the John Kahn podcast?
I can't remember. I know I watched one of
Well,
them.
Nikki Travella was on there,
I didn't
and
see that one.
she was saying yeah, something interesting. She said from a lot of the reporters that and beat writers that follow this team, you're starting to hear people call Ron Rivera common liar. Like, don't believe a word he says because he's not doing anything he says he's supposed to do.
Wow.
And I've been saying that for the longest time. Because to me, it seems like he's got a bunch of guys on the payroll, his cronies, so they can get a paycheck. It's not for to win games. It's just so they can get paycheck. You can't tell me, not this past season, but season before, while we had Thomas Davis on the roster, who didn't play a single down.
Exactly.
And he's
Exactly.
bringing all his former Carolina players that we know can't play, but they're collecting the paycheck.
It makes sense.
He just re-signed David Mayo. We all know he can't cover you and I in coverage.
I mean, I ain't slow,
But he
but
got but he
anyway.
got 1 year he just got another 1 year deal. But yet you don't want to extend Terry. A man who's proven that he's valuable not only on the field, but off the field.
There's a lot of turmoil with this organization, man. It started with the name. Started with the name. They botched this whole thing. And then I don't, I haven't heard the rumors about Jason Wright. I haven't heard that yet, but that'll be shocking as a team president.
Yeah, he's on his way out the door.
What's up, Keith?
And Ron thinks he's got another 2 years after this season come up to coach this team. I got news for you, Ron. If you don't bring in a star quarterback after all this licensing show you just did, if you don't bring in a Deshaun Watson, who by the way said now, yeah, he'll play for Washington. He said that today. So if you don't bring in a Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers, You should sell your house in Leesburg, Virginia, because you're not going to be the coach very long.
You said
You need to
Deshaun.
look.
You said Deshaun Watson said that.
Yeah, he said he could play in Washington.
Where you heard that from? Where you heard that at, man?
Well, I listen to ESPN Texas down there.
Uh huh.
You know McClain, I forget his first name, but he covers the Texans,
Uh huh.
and he said he would be willing to come to Washington
He
because
said
he
that.
just wants.
He
Yeah,
said
because
that.
he just wants. Yeah, he just wants to get the hell out of Texas right now. So he's going anywhere, almost. And plus, again, his options are shrinking. Miami's out of the picture right now. The Giants just said they're sticking with Daniel Jones.
I don't think.
McDaniel say
I don't think that.
McDaniel say he's sticking with Derek Carr. So he's running out of places to go. And he also knows he's competing with Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson because they want to leave their situation too. So of course you'll open up your options when you don't have that many left.
Oh, I haven't heard. I haven't heard that one from Deshaun, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
Yeah. Because I also read Al Brill had reported yesterday that that Washington is willing to give a package deal for 3 number ones and Deron Payne for any one of these quarterbacks. That's in the SI.
I mean, that's just a rumor, unless somebody actually say that out their mouth that's credible, like a coach.
Well, you're never going to get Ron to say it because, like I said, they don't. Even the reporters are not starting not to trust Ron. I stopped trusting Ron after last season.
So that means you don't trust in Ron's plan.
No, I don't. I see him as a snake oil salesman, getting a bunch of his guys in this organization collecting a paycheck. That's what I see him as. There's nothing he's done that's telling me he wants to win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
And that's the goal of every coach, to win a Super Bowl. And right now he's just looking at this as his last payday before he goes off into the sunset.
So let me ask you, Merle, are you happy with the name?
No.
Why not?
I want Red Wolves or Red Tails. I didn't pick Commanders. What the hell? It's a stupid name.
Yeah. What's the logo?
When over 80% of the fan base wanted Red Wolves and you come out with Commanders?
What is our mascot? That's what I want. I wonder what our mascot is going to be.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It makes no sense.
Somebody dress up in a suit. I mean, what? Anybody know?
That's what I'm saying. What, you going to have somebody dress up in military? It just doesn't make sense. Commander. What are you commanding?
Exactly. Keith said, I stopped trusting in Ron ever since the Haskins thing. Wow. William, what's going on? William said, I'm mad, but I'm just happy it wasn't presidents. Who you telling?
And I agree with my man about Haskins. Because under Bill Callahan, Haskins was actually improving. And Kevin O'Connell. He was actually improving. They had gotten through to him.
Yeah.
But once Ron got in here, he had already predetermined that he wasn't going to work with Haskins.
Chop said, how do you mess up a black uniform by putting a big yellow W in front middle of the helmet?
Exactly. They couldn't even get that right. How can you mess up a black uniform? That shouldn't even be allowed.
I don't see nothing really wrong with it because it's a little W. It's not a big W.
No, man, that uniform. The only thing worse than that black one is that white one. That white one, oh my God.
The white one to me is terrible. I like the black. I like the black jersey.
Now the burgundy one I can work with, but the other two, no.
That's the first. You the first. You the first person I heard say that. Now you second person I heard say that about the black unis. See the helmets. The helmets with the black helmet got the little W in the front and the numbers on the side. So,
well, for one, to me, this team capitulated to cancel culture in the first place. I thought they were soft for that. You wouldn't have got me to change my name.
Well, if your sponsors is threatening you, you ain't got no choice.
I'll get new sponsors.
FedEx now. FedEx was threatening him, and FedEx is the name of
and I'll get new sponsors.
A lot of sponsors.
You don't threaten me. Trust me, when it's money, somebody's gonna come be a sponsor. The only color that matters is green.
Okay.
FedEx ain't the only company.
Alan said, "What's up, Alan? What's up, Daryl? What's going on? Appreciate you guys coming in. Don't forget, guys, on your way in, if you haven't, go ahead and smash the thumbs up. Share this out if you can." Alan West said, needs something on the pants. Which uniform?
Yeah, which one?
On all of them? If you're talking about the black, yeah, I thought they would have like that gold stripe or something going down the side of the pants. That'll look sweet.
Right now, everything about this organization is off. Everything, from the head coach to the GM to the assistant GM to the assistant GM to the president, everybody wants to leave.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Alan. He said the white one needs some gold in it. Yes, that one, the white one to me looked like the Falcons for sure. Daryl said the black ones look too much like Pittsburgh. It does. I still like it though.
Well, I think that's the only alternate, like for like a Thursday night game, right? The black one.
See. Oh, it's the real. I'm sorry. Then we got Daryl in here. What's up, Daryl? It's not that easy to just get new sponsors if everyone's scared of getting boycotted. Okay. What's up, Rock Man? What's going on? I want to hear you guys' input, man. Washington fans only. Where you guys at? I want to hear you guys.
Yeah, where y'all Washington fans at?
I want to hear you guys' input on this new name. I heard a lot today. Trust me. And from what I gathered, it's like 90-some% people are pissed, are not happy about Commanders.
No.
Wow. So I dropped the link. Washington fans, you can come on the panel and share your thoughts. I want to get the raw feelings off you guys and see how you guys feel about this Commander's name. Like I said, I can never connect with this name. I will never connect with it. It can't grow.
No.
So
no, I'm always in the back of my mind for how they're gonna be called the Redskins.
Yeah, of course. Always. No Washington football talk today. This world is off. Yeah, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like I said, the burgundy uniform and the black to me is okay. I like the black. I definitely will buy that. I definitely will buy a jersey. I like the burgundy as well. But that white one, no can do. I can't go for that. No, can do. Can't do that.
What they need to do is get a new stadium and move it into Virginia. That's what they need to do. Because the problem right now, the way they're staying at right now, it's too toxic for that organization.
Yeah.
You need to be somewhere in a state where they love the team They respect the team. You go up there to the DMV, up there in DC and Maryland, you got too many transplants of fans of other teams, and then they're putting in their input of what they think the team should be. They got no business having an input. They won't rolling with this team.
Yeah,
You need to pull that team out of there and put them right here in Virginia, where real Washington fans live.
exactly.
Not those implants of those ones who go there for a latte to a game because it's cool to go to. They don't care whether the team wins or not because more than likely they're not even rooting for the team.
Daryl, I don't know about this one right here, Daryl. He said, I'm getting used to it no matter what the name would have been, people would have been pissed. I don't know about that one, Daryl. Like I said, the fans have spoken. The fans have definitely spoken. And we had a very high percentage of fans. We had a very high percentage of fans that wanted Red Wolves. They should have given us what we asked for.
If the team had been Red Wolves, you wouldn't have had no problems today.
Yep.
There'd been no problems today if you had kept the team Red Wolves.
Yep.
Because that's what the fans wanted.
Move back to DC where now one thing about moving to DC, there's no space. I'm sorry, there's no space. None whatsoever. There's no space. We need space. And Virginia got plenty of it. I'm about to allow another person to come on. My man Chop is in the building. Long time no see. Here we go. What's up, Chop?
Hey, what's going on with y'all, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, player.
All right, let me turn this volume up real quick.
Can you hear us?
What's going on with you, man? Look,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna stay on long, but I definitely want to let y'all know something, man. Like, why is it replaying back to me? I don't know.
You probably got two tabs open.
Let me see.
Once you
Got you. Yep, you're right. Yep, close it. All right, cool. So, like me personally, right? I stand for a lot of stuff before I stand as a Redskin fan, before I stand as a Washington football team fan, right? Me, one, I'm a black man. So my family come from a long line of have-nots, right?
Okay.
You know, two peas in a pot.
That's right.
No silver spoon, right?
That's right.
And I notice a lot of things in this world and society in general, right? That's against me, period, right? So it's hard for me. Like I played at a high level in high school. I played at a high level in college. I love football. You know what I mean? When I started watching the Redskins when I was 3 years old, right? Because my dad, my grandmother, everybody would be sitting, you know, at home in DC, you know, in Northwest on Q Street. And the first game I ever saw was the Washington Redskins versus the Arizona Cardinals, you know, and we blew them out. And it never left my mind. I want to say we beat them 50 something to, I don't know, almost zero. They might have scored a touchdown. Arizona Cardinals, you know what I mean? And so, you know, looking back, you know, say that was what, 32 years ago, you know what I mean? And so I've been a fan ever since then, right? And I love football so much, I couldn't miss a game. I would watch football and not do my schoolwork because I'm watching the game. That's how much I love football. So I had to change my mindset a little bit. And when I see stuff like this, where you have fans that you pull into, you know, sending in names, right? Getting all involved with sending names. You say you got 50,000 names, right? You egg the fans on by telling them you narrowed it down to 8. 3 of them is in the last possibilities, right? Yeah. And you still got the name Red Wolves is one of those possibilities. You got Commanders, and then you got a whole bunch of other stuff, Armada, and all the dumb stuff I seen, Defenders, this and that, X, Y, and Z. So, you know, you got people that really got more than just just looking at football, you got your heart involved into it. You got your feelings, your emotions, all of that tied into it. So it's about more than just the name. For me, the name was the icing on the cake, but look at all the turmoil before the name change, right? They still losing games, right? You just fired the trainer for some scandal that he was involved in, right? Then you lose how many good players that you had on the team, right? Including your number one draft pick. We continue to see the history continue to repeat itself.
Exactly.
You got one of the weakest owners that I've ever seen in any sport in Daniel Snyder, right? Who give you 5-minute segments because he ain't even strong enough to stand up there and speak and stand on his own 2 feet, right? But you want these 54 guys to come out there and act like men and act mature, right? They coming straight out of college and handle their business, right? You want them to study the playbook, go out on the field, win games, listen to their coach, be respectful, right? Even after a loss, shake hands, You want them to stand up and be men, but you're not a man yourself. So leadership starts at the top.
Exactly.
And so when I say that it's about more than just the name showed me how much they really don't care about me as a person. What the team did with Colin Kaepernick, bringing him in just as a facade to show people, oh, we're about the people in general. And then you never really honestly was going to give him an opportunity to begin with. We might be better off had they brought him here. You know what I mean? And he was standing for a cause that maybe you might not have agreed with all the way, right, on how he did this or did that. But what he's telling you he's doing it for is something that you really honestly didn't bring attention to at the end of the day. What was the purpose of the league hiring Jay-Z, right? And so to me, it's a bigger issue than just Washington. It's the NFL. It's a business in general. And until they respect me as a fan, I feel like personally, like, because I love football so much, I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna check games out here and there. I still love the sport so much. So it takes a lot away from me having to find, a different hobby. Like, I'm super busy right now. So, what I mean? I got other things that occupy my time. But, when that ends, you know what I'm saying, in a month from now, and I have more time, and the first thing I want to do is keep up with my sports and keep up with the NFL. I feel like, man, the one thing that I was looking forward to, the Washington Redskins, the Washington football team, XYZ, now I got to deal with all the dumbness that come along with that, all the stress that come along with that. And I feel like they don't respect me as a person, as a man. I feel like they don't respect people that look like me. I mean, there's evidence all over the NFL showing that, you know what I mean? And then to get all these people to put names and all of this stuff into a bucket, and then you just really you just wash that to the side. And then the lies they continue to tell, like listening to Jason Wright today, listening to Doug Williams, you already heard Chase Young tell you he don't like the name, like it gets an F in his book. So imagine how all the players feel about it. And then they're forced to come out there and do it. Everybody's doing this for a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Honestly, entertainment.
Yeah. They're doing it for a paycheck. And I'm pretty sure when they go to college, they're not doing it just for a paycheck. Yeah, they think about the money they could possibly make, but there's a lot of love involved in that. You got to think about when fans ain't watching, you got tour days and you got to go run and you got to hit the gym and you got to go sweat it out without all these people watching you. Like you have to have a passion for football in order to go out there and do it, or else you're going to end up hurt. And coaches tell you that all the time. They say you got to go 100%. You can't go 90%. You can't give 95%. You got to give everything you got if you want to do it for real, or else you might get hurt because people blindside you. People go at your knees. You can't be lollygagging and not paying attention on no play. I don't care if it's a field goal, a punt return. That's the first thing they tell you when you go out there and play. That's the first thing they try to put in your head in Little League. Because they want to protect you. They don't want to see their player get carted off on the field. So if you're telling these people they got to go 100% and the players is telling you they don't even like the name, you got money in your pockets. You probably ain't never even played football, right? You just running the team because you got money.
That's right.
So it's bigger than just the name. It's just the icing on the cake for me. And then I'm looking at the uniforms. Honestly, the uniforms don't look bad at all. I really like the black ones, but the W in the front, to me, that's a throw off, right? Because I'm imagining like, okay, you got 11 players on the field, and then they all got this big W on the front of their helmet. When I look at any team in the league, from the Rams, where they got the horns on the side, to the Cowboys with the stars on the side, to the Atlanta Falcons with the wings on the side, to I can just start throwing names out there and start naming teams. A lot of times they try to make it symmetrical, and they make it symmetrical for a reason, because it looks better when the uniform is even, right? When you put whether you call it a big W or a small W on the front middle of the helmet, like when I look at that logo or that picture behind you, and I don't see nothing else, it's a alphabetical letter. So it's not it has nothing to do with the real like mascot. There's no animal involved. It's just a letter. It's just plain as day. And then I think that's what kind of throws it off a little bit. If it was some type of like maybe like a shape, like I seen people do some mock-ups where they had like a half octagon and then they had the letter in the octagon, that might look better because it kind of all comes together and blends a little better. But
I don't know if you saw it all together yet, but the black uniforms have the black helmet got the little W on the front with the number on the side.
Yeah, I see it. You got it right in your background. You know what I mean? So everybody can see it. And I think that letter just kind of throws it. It's like it's not even in the front. It's like in the top middle, like you know what I mean, where your hairline is at. Like it's like that. And I think it just looked awkward. Then they switched it up on the other helmets and they put W's on the side of those. Like I said, it's not atrocious. The uniforms ain't bad. The name isn't awful. It's just not what the fans chose, and they continue to lie about it. You know, it's not a good name, but I could think of a lot of other names. Yeah,
it's a terrible name. I'm not like you said. I'm not happy. I'm gonna pick it back after what you just said. Like I've been saying this all day. I don't like the fact that they got the fans involved. Had the fans bringing in all these names and making all these pictures and stuff like that, making us feel like we was a part of this rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they come to the end, the name that everybody wanted was the Red Wolves. That was the top name. Nobody, no fan chose Commanders. I'm sorry. I don't think not one person, because that don't have anything to do, because they were talking about tradition and heritage and all this stuff. That don't have anything to do with Washington Redskins football, Commanders, nothing. But when they came up with a rebrand or new name, and everybody, it started with Fred Smoot first. Fred Smoot came out with the idea of the Red Wolves, blah blah blah, howling and all this stuff, and we all gravitated to that because we all thought about it. Man, that'd be a great idea. I mean, that'd be sweet actually. And then we started people create uniforms and helmets. They're like, man, that'd be hard. That'd be fire. And we all fell in love with Red Wolves. Majority of Washington fans fell in love with the Red Wolves, and they knew that's the name we wanted, and they snatched that thing right from us. So that tells you right there, just like you said, Chop, that tells you right there, the organization do not care about the fans. It's all about the money. That's all it is about.
So when I think about like what can I do in response to that type of action from them, like I can't refer to it as oppression, but I can refer to it as suppression, right? And so when you're dealing with that type of suppression, right, they suppress the fans, they suppress the players, right? And when you're dealing with that, like, how can you respond? How can you fight back? Do you have no option? And for me, I feel like I got to stand on my own too, no matter what, right? And I feel like, in order for me to get respect, I got to demand respect, right? Or should I say, I got to command respect. So at the end of the day, I feel like one of the ways that I can do that is by not buying the merchandise. Like, you won't catch me with a Commanders jersey in. I am definitely going to check out some games and stuff like that, but the feeling ain't going to be the same for me, even if they win the Super Bowl. I don't care if they won 20, 30. They could win the next 50 Super Bowls. Until they get Daniel Snyder out of there, or until they go back and change the name. Like, I gotta get something out of this thing. I gotta feel like I won somehow. You know what I mean? And I feel like in order for me to get any type of respect out of them, I gotta make sure that my money lies with my principles.
Exactly.
You know,
it's all about. To Daniel Snyder is all about money. He don't give a crap. He don't give a crap about the fans. Look at our stadium, man. Look at the food. Look at the parking. All this stuff, all that stuff at FedEx Field, man, is terrible. He doesn't care. What he knows as a businessman, what Daniel Snyder knows, and which everybody else knows in the organization, the fans are going to buy the merchandise no matter what. They just are. Now, if the fans was to boycott, then that's the only way you can make change is when you hurt another man's pocket. That's the only way you can make change. But he knows, I don't give a crap what they say. I don't give a crap how they feel. They're going to buy the merchandise no matter what.
Yeah, because them, like they say, the black jerseys is fire. So people definitely gonna cop those first.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And the price is probably gonna go up on those more than the other jerseys. You know what I mean? So yeah, those are definitely gonna probably sell out. But at the same time, our stadium attendance is pretty low. So our fans gonna start coming to the games now.
Nope.
I definitely don't think it's gonna happen early on. Some people are and I hate to even use this term. I'm trying to think of another term, but a lot of people refer to them as like bandwagon fans. They show it sometimes.
It's true. It is what it is.
XYZ, right? But I don't like to refer to them as that because it's a little deeper than bandwagon fans, right? You got to think of all the different things that are involved in people showing up and not showing up, right? Maybe they stand for something. Maybe they don't. Maybe they can't stand to see the team losing. Maybe they can't.
That's what it is.
There's so many variables, right?
That's
why I hate to call them bandwagon fans, but
it's the losing. That's what it is, the losing.
Yeah. And so because the stadium attendance is so low, now they got a name that they don't like. People gonna have to show up, deal with a name that they don't like. Then the team is gonna have to show and improve and win games on top of that. And it's not easy to do in the league, as we can see, right? It's a tough league, and so they're fighting an uphill battle. And why would they shoot themselves in the foot like that? It just don't make no sense.
Me personally, I truly believe the only way they're gonna bring the fans back, it has to start this year. It has to start in the off season, and that's by getting a top tier QB, no matter what. I believe whoever that QB is, it got to be one of the three. I'm not falling for nobody else below them. Nobody else below them is not a top tier quarterback. We need an official top tier quarterback. Rodgers, Wilson, Watson. Any one of those three is top tier. Everybody else don't mean a hill of beans to me. It's just like, okay, we got another plug and play guy. Is he going to fit with our organization? Is he going to fit with the scheme? Blah, blah, blah. When you got those other three quarterbacks, they make things happen. And
I agree with that. Those are the best three free agents that's going to be available. You know what I mean? So that's the truth. And when you look at it in full circle, they shouldn't be in that position where it's like do or die, where Ron Rivera is like, oh, I got to go out and get one of these three quarterbacks, or I might get fired, or the fans might turn against me. You know what I mean? People love Ron when he first came, right? We didn't think we was going to start winning right away. We started winning, went to the playoffs. Then the very next year, we don't even get close to making it to the playoffs.
Major drop off.
Huh?
Major drop off.
Yeah, major drop off. Double-digit losses to the Cowboys. So many embarrassing things just continually happening, right? The fans are embarrassed. It's discouraging, and this was once a prestige franchise. And that Dan Snyder, he gotta find a way to sleep good at night. And I'm pretty sure he do with these type of changes that he's making. Right?
He's sleeping good at night, laying on that money pillow. He's definitely sleeping good at night. He got money up under his mattress. He's sleeping awesome. You don't really care, man. That's why he been He's been an owner for so long, he don't care because he's going to make money with this team regardless. We win or not, people are going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Not just our fans, but fans of the opposing team. They're going to show up. They're going to buy stuff. They're going to buy food. They're going to pay for parking. They're going to buy the tickets. He's going to make money regardless. But to have our stadium packed from bottom to top to bottom, whatever you want to say, you bring in a top tier quarterback, you pitch him that he will be the new face of the rebrand of the new Washington Commanders, and let that person lead this command, let that person lead this team. The fans will come back then. But it got to be one of the three.
I think the fans will come back with winning, right? The fans will come back if the team starts winning. That's one thing that I continually hear, right? The team is like, man, I hear a lot of people saying that, you know, I don't like the name of the team, but if they start winning, you know, it's going to win over the fans and they'll win the fans back.
It don't take much. Just you remember 2012. You don't take much. RG3 came. You don't take much. We start winning. We got a explosive quarterback. Stadium was packed.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit harder than that now, though, just because of everything that's happened like after that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit harder than it was in 2012. So it ain't going to be the same response they got in 2012. But then I'm also wondering, like, what are the fans going to do, right? I heard you mention about like the 12th man, right? And how if we was named the Red Wolves, man, the people would have been howling in the stands. It would have been hell for the other team. Now everybody lost. Everybody's so lost. It ain't even just the name. Is what's the mascot? What's the fight song going to be? You know,
I have no fight song. We don't have a mascot.
What are the fans going to do in the stands to be a part of like the game and you know and feel like the home team, you know, crowd? So I think, man, they're going to be dealing with a lot of the same old issues, and I think they probably are going to regret this name change.
They shot themselves. I believe they truly shot themselves in the foot. I believe they rushed this. They didn't actually think it all the way through because the reason why they didn't include the fans.
How do you rush it with 2 years though? A grace period of 2 years. That's crazy.
I think they already had the name. To be honest,
I think so too. I think so. I think they decided on it too, and they were just egging us along.
And
that's so disrespectful.
Because, like I said, we once had, like I said, our fans was very loyal back in RFK days.
Mm-hmm.
Our fans was very loyal and very rowdy. Like I said, I've been to some games last year, and I was not impressed. I'm talking about far as our fans and how I know how fans can be, how loud our stadium can be. It's embarrassing, man. It really is embarrassing. We don't get loud. People just, it's no excitement. You look at Kansas City, you look at the Steelers, you look at the Patriots, you look at the Cowboys, you look at any other football team, any Rams, anybody, you see their fans is going crazy in the stadium. Seattle, fans is going crazy. Throwing spinning towels. They rowdy, they loud. You come to our stadium, you can hear, you can throw, man, you can take a quarter and throw it on the field. You can hear that thing hit the ground. But that's how quiet it is in there, man.
I mean, that's the truth, man. It's ridiculous. You know, they say winning heals all, but I mean, you got to take every win you can. So the name change, that was a loss. That wasn't a win, right?
That's another loss.
You know what I'm saying? All the scandals, everything that happened, that's a loss. You know what I'm saying? Coming. And if the team come out and they lose this upcoming season, XYZ, I mean, fans, I doubt the fans are going to fill the stadium initially to begin with anyway. Right? They're going to have to
That's only if, trust me on this one, that's only if we get one of the three. If we get one of the three quarterbacks, if we get any one of those three top tier quarterbacks, stadium going to be packed.
That might be true. Yeah, if they get one of those three, if you get a Deshaun Watson, people might, have hope and all of that stuff again. Yeah, that's true. If you get a top tier quarterback, one of those three, it might excite the fans enough to go ahead and come back.
We get Rodgers in here. We get Rodgers in here, and they mess around and get Devontae Adams in here with him. Oh, the stadium packed. First game.
Yeah.
Packed.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson. Doesn't matter. Deshaun Watson. Packed. First game.
But think about this though, right? If the team is named the Commanders and you already got players talking about they don't like the name, right? So if anything goes wrong, given the history of this team, how many players are going to want to stay? Right? How many players going to want to come back? Chase Young ain't going to want to come here. He ain't going to want to stay. He already said he hate the name.
Yeah.
Publicly on YouTube for everybody to see. He said he hated it publicly. So
a lot of other old players said the same thing as well. Say they don't like the name. Commanders.
So if you don't like the name, that's why I say you got to take any win you could get at any time. Because if you love the name, the logo, like the Red Wolves and all that, you might be able to withstand some losses and still give it 100%, right? You love the gear and all that. You love the hometown fans. You love the DC metropolitan area. You can withstand some losses. You know what I mean? It's not so hard to take a loss when you love everything else.
Yeah.
But when you don't like the name, you start finding other things not to like, right? Like, because we already got a poor history over the last 30 years. So you're not being optimistic looking at this situation. And if you are optimistic, you kind of, you might be dropping down below that 50% of optimism, right? And with that being said, if you don't like the name, your team starts to lose, you're probably going to find reasons not to like Ron Rivera. I already hear a lot of fans talking about this Ron Rivera last year. He better do this, show and improve. He better get the top quarterback. He better win some games and take us to the playoffs. So if you already got fans talking like that, and then you got players who don't like the name, they don't like the uniforms except for the black one. And I can't honestly think that it's too many of them that really like that W on the front. It's like an eyesore to me. Every time I see it, I'm like, it's just pop goes the Weasel right there on the front of the helmet. Like, I wish they would have gave us some type of design, but so if you don't like the uniform you're putting on, you don't like the name, and your team start losing, guess what? You're gonna get trash players. This not gonna be their first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth choice. So you're gonna be picking bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
Or you're gonna be paying a lot of money to keep these players. And guess what? This ain't the old days, so you got a salary cap. So that money only goes around but so far.
My thing is with Ron Rivera, I was one of those fans that said this is the year. He said 3 out of his own mouth. He told the fans 3. So we are expecting something to happen in the third year. But something happened on the first year. So we was kind of shocked. So by us actually winning the NFC East with a 7-9 record going to the playoffs and giving the Buccaneers a little run for their money, we was kind of shocked. He was like, okay, Ron Rivera, okay. Coming in year 2, and we had a major drop-off. And we're like, okay, now here we go again. And then coming to year 3, he got to prove himself. There's no more lollygagging. There's no more all this BS. And I believe he was the one that had something to do with the name Commanders and stuff like that. So he gonna have to command some good gameplay. He gotta command some respect in the locker room. He gotta command some good play calling. He gotta command some good play calling on defense as well. It's facts.
They should have let some young people choose that name. It sounded like a bunch of old guys picked this name.
Fans did not choose Commanders. I'm sorry. They lying. They straight lying to us.
If they really wanted to inspire people to fill up the stands, they should have went with what the youth said. People in high school, middle school, college, they should have went with, what young adults or adolescents really had to say about it. You know what I mean? Because those are the people that's going to be filling your stands for the next 50, 60 years.
Facts.
if you give them something to love, guess what? You're gonna receive a lot of revenue from that. So it's almost like, man, they're not even they're not really. It's not even a good financial decision. The moves that they're making. You know,
That's fact.
It's just all around. Like, and then I saw something yesterday where they had a helicopter go over the stadium and show the name. It's like, man, they continually to just botch things up. They can't get right. You know,
That's us.
Radio. I don't know what's wrong.
That's us all day. We that's what we do, man. You know, we just shoot ourselves in the foot, man. Our organization. Why? I always say, why us? Why can't be nobody else? Why can't be the Cowboys that's going through so much turmoil? It always us. We're making ourselves look dumb, stupid. We're doing stuff they can't even hide a name. See what if it was me, I wouldn't even show glimpses of the jerseys. I wouldn't even show glimpses of the helmet. I wouldn't even show nothing. Now, if you know you got a big reveal, the way they did it was even bad. If you know you got a big reveal coming, you're supposed to cover it up, hide it. So you got to use common sense. If you got the word Commander biggest day in your window and cars, you can drive through FedEx. You can drive around the stadium. People drive through there all day. People running around FedEx. They got buses come through there. You trying to tell me they got the word Commander biggest day in the window? Nobody's gonna know it.
Man, it's unbelievable, man. It's flabbergasting because it's just amazing. Like, I don't even know how big that was, man. You're talking about something that's damn near 200 feet, big ass sign that say Commanders. How did you not think it was gonna get exposed?
They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah. So when they don't care, that's the type of response they get out of a person like me, man. Because I feel like I stand for more than just. Sometimes I gotta lose the things that I like or that I love the most, you know, in order to gain respect. And then sometimes the things that you love come back to you. Sometimes you gotta let the things that you love go, and that love may return back to you. And that's kind of how.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to jump on the fans situation because I'm still shocked about the fans and how they treating the fans because they really, like I said, they really don't care about us. What have Washington actually done for the fans lately? To even make the fans want to come to the games? Nothing.
I mean, they didn't even do Sean Taylor right. You know,
that's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
And they allowed a guy to stand there and dance on that man stuff. It's like he was dancing on his grave, man.
Bro,
nobody said nothing.
That damn near sent chills through my body. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't imagine losing one of my family members and them being a famous NFL football star, somebody who was Hall of Fame potential. You knew if he played enough years in the league, he was going to Hall of Fame. You know, he's up there ranked neck for neck with probably the best 2 to 3 safeties ever to play in the league, period.
Yep.
And if they were to disrespect my family member like that, I would be all over social media. I would be trying to sue the hell out of. Maybe I can't sue them, but I'd be trying to. I mean, I would be going at their necks. Period. That couldn't have been my family member. You know, so I can imagine what the family felt or what they going or what they might even be going through. You know, having to reflect back on that. You know, they had to do their commentary behind. The what was it? Porta potties.
Yep.
You know, like somebody planned that out, and that's so that
it seems like it was planned.
Yeah, you can't put that off on somebody else because that's a huge event that you have to really plan out. So that starts from the top. So you telling me all of these people, Daniel Snyder, Jason Wright, you know, and so on and so on, all looked at this and said, yeah, we're going to do it right here and put the porta potties right behind them. You know,
why us, man? The question is why us? Why it got to be us? I do not understand. Let me ask you a question. Out of the top 3 quarterbacks, because I hear a lot of people saying different things. Out of the top 3 quarterbacks that's listed, Rodgers, Wilson, Watson, who would you take and why?
It would depend on my philosophy. So if I'm a win right now type of person, I need to win 2 Super Bowls within the next 2 to 3 years, I'm going with Rodgers all day long, hands down. He is the best. If I don't necessarily need to win a Super Bowl this year, but I want to win, 2 to 3 within the next 5 years, I'm going with Deshaun Watson because of his age and potential.
Exactly.
So it would depend on my philosophy. For Ron Rivera, he doesn't have a long time period. So his best option is go with Rodgers, right? Because we're not giving him that long of a chance. But for the long run, Deshaun Watson most definitely, because he's young, he doesn't get injured, and he's A1 caliber. He might not win the Super Bowl this year, he might not win it next year, but if you build a team right around him, like if they keep these players on the field that they currently have, he can win a Super Bowl with these players within the next 2 to 3 years.
Exactly.
With this current roster right now, and but Rodgers will give you the best chance to win it. It's just that you have to wonder how many more years does Rodgers have. You know what I mean? Does he have the love for the game like Tom Brady does? You know what I mean? Where his longevity, he's going to want to keep playing, or is he going to take a back seat like Peyton Manning did? You know what I mean? So it really just depends. I think Aaron Rodgers deals with a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes. You get to, if you look at his documentary and get to see what his relationship like is with a lot of his family members and friends. He don't have too many friends or family members that he associates with for different reasons. And so, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Like for me, if I didn't have too many friends or family members that I associate with, and my love was football, I would probably have the same longevity as Tom Brady, right? Because
social.
Yeah, because that's what I have to depend on. But for some reason, I get an inclination that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that same love for the game that Tom Brady does. I don't know why, right? And that might be false, but I feel like he loves the game, but not enough to where it supersedes other interests that he might have. So I do see him wanting to retire within the next 4 to 5 years. If it goes that long.
I want Rodgers on the squad, hands down. I really do. I would definitely take Deshaun Watson because of his age. I'd take Russell Wilson as well. My first pick is Rodgers because, like I said, he's proven. Any of those 3 is proven to me. Anybody else below them, I would not be happy. All this Jimmy Garoppolo talk crap, he's trash. He's booty juice, straight up. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I don't like Jimmy G. I don't know why y'all think Jimmy is this big guy. He's trash, man. I mean, you got to look at the squad that was around him. Derek Carr, nope. I mean, he's Derek Carr fit was what the Raiders got going on in their organization. It's not saying that we go get Derek Carr, he's going to come over here and shine. I'm not saying that we go get Jimmy G, he's going to come over here and shine. It also, y'all got to realize, it's the play calling, it's the scheme that they're calling for this quarterback and the players. So anybody below the top 3, Mitch Trubisky snacks. Who want Mitch Trubisky snacks to come over here as well He's booty juice. And y'all talking about, oh, we can just run it back with Taylor Heineke. No. Or we can give Ryan Fitzpatrick another shot. No. No, we need one of the top three. If Ron Rivera is serious about his statement that he made to the fans, to the media, about it takes 3 years, guys. It's not gonna work overnight. It's gonna take about 3 years. If he's serious about it and they really are going all in on a top tier quarterback, they're only 3 top tier quarterbacks right now for sure. And those other guys in college, Pickett and all them other guys. What was the other guy? They was connecting us with
Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik. Those guys are not proven. They haven't played in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I mean, think about it. Just because Haskins threw 50 touchdowns in college, we thought Haskins was gonna come into the NFL balling. It was the scheme that was around Haskins and the speed. Haskins came to the NFL, booty juice. Straight up, it's just the scheme. So we don't know these college guys that's gonna come out of the draft, that's gonna actually come into the NFL and just command everything. They're just gonna be explosive. Yeah. One thing I know for sure, Aaron Rodgers will be explosive. Russell Wilson will be explosive. Deshaun Watson, if he's cleared, will be explosive. Everybody else below them, iffy.
Exactly, right. And that's what I'm saying. The history of what we've been through for the last 30 years or so makes us pessimistic. And that's not what you want your fans to be. You don't want them nitpicking at every little thing you do. And when you give them a bunch of little things that are negative, it becomes a lot. They begin to see a trickle down effect. You know, it becomes a pattern. And I don't know, you know what I mean? The saying goes, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Mm-hmm. Right. And so at the end of the day, how many people gonna continue to be fooled before they say enough is enough? You know, you can't keep stepping on me and beating me up, talking trash to me and continue to think I'm gonna be your friend. Right? You can't come sitting at my lunch table and you keep talking about me behind my back. You know what I mean? Like, and so I feel like everybody learns, but at a different pace, right? Some people learn faster than others. Some people learn slower than others. You know, some people average. And so at some point they continue this BS, and we're not just going to be a laughing stock to other teams and other fans. We're going to be a laughing stock amongst each other. Everybody going to be talking trash about the Washington Commanders, in-house and outside the house, within the office and in the locker room, right? And then what do you do?
So they actually putting pressure on themselves right now, to be honest with you. They have to succeed this offseason. They have to succeed in the season. They have to win games. They have to make it to the playoffs. I'm not saying they have to go to the Super Bowl, but they have to make it to the playoffs. They can't come out with a rebrand, a new name, and be straight booty juice. I mean, and lose less games this year. Because it will be a lot of people getting let go and on the hot seat. It all starts with Ron Rivera. All starts with him. This is his third year. He has to win this year. He has to. 7-9 the first year, 7-10 the second year. I give him tad bit credit. on the year just passed, because, like I said, we had a first place schedule. And we actually tied the amount of wins that we had from year one with Taylor Heineke, with a harder schedule. So if we had, that tells you right there, if we had better quarterback play, somebody had a strong arm, somebody that was smart, intelligent, and that command the offense, we probably would have won 3 to 4 more games.
That's true.
Whoever that quarterback was.
Why would they put unnecessary? And the key word is unnecessary. Why would they put unnecessary pressure on themselves? I'm still trying to make sense of that, and I can't.
Unless they know something we don't know, because like I always say, I truly believe, football is rigged. It's a script. It is entertainment. It is entertainment. The referees actually control the game.
Yeah, as you see, I'm hearing a lot of scandals within Miami. Hugh Jackson just came out today and said how a lot of teams were being told to lose games and were getting like $100,000 game day checks for losing, all that type of stuff. So this may be the beginning of something major within the league, right? I've heard of options to fix it so that teams don't just start losing games. One of the options was to get rid of the draft, right? So if they get rid of the NFL draft and allow players to just be all free agents, that removes a lot of the incentive for teams to lose games, when they're not going to make the playoffs, trying to get that first round pick. Because now there's no such thing as a draft. Now players are free agents and you still have the salary cap. So it's not like a team could just be unnecessarily loaded. They might, and a player is not going to want to go to, especially a quarterback is not going to want to go to a team that has a Tom Brady, or Ben Roethlisberger. They're going to want to go to a team where they're going to get some play. They're not going to want to go to the Chiefs, and play behind Patrick Mahomes. So the free agent idea makes sense, but the league will never allow that to happen because the draft is so huge. It's so much money involved. And outside of the NFL draft is the second, if you could call it a separate sport, it would be the second biggest sport, in the United States. Just the NFL draft. That's how much money exchanges hands, because of the NFL draft. There's so many cities in America that are fighting just to put their bid in for the draft. Everybody wants to host the draft. So it's so much money involved with that the league won't do it. But honestly, there we go again with money being the ultimate evil of some of the bad decisions that the league is making. So that brings me back to the principles that we got to stand for something in order to evoke change.
It would be nice to see the fans stand up and stand together to demand change, to command change. The fan, I'm gonna wear that out. I'm telling you, I'm gonna wear the word command out. But the fans was to stand up and command change. Since we are the commanders, we got to command something. So if they stand up and command change, change should happen. Like I said, the only way you can make change, you got to hit a man's pocket. You got to hit him where it hurts. That's the only way. Only way. But fans got to come together.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with these CEOs, the only way you're going to make them change is you see what happened with Daniel Snyder and his sponsors. You know what I mean? What made him change the name? He was getting ready to lose sponsorship. He was getting ready to lose money because of it. So the fans definitely can force change, but everybody has to stand together. And one thing we know is sometimes people stand together, sometimes people don't. But losing will force people to stand together. Losing will force that.
Oh yeah. And I truly believe they really didn't really have to change the name of the Washington Redskins. They didn't have to change the name. The problem, it wasn't the name, it was the logo. That was the problem of the Washington Redskins, because they had that Indian of that color of the Indian on that helmet. All they had to do was keep Washington Redskins, change the logo. What was so hard about that?
That's true. But actually, they didn't have to change the name or the logo. If they had won that Super Bowl in what was that, 2004 or 5? No, actually that was 2001 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ended up going to go win that Super Bowl that year. And we actually botched the play. I forgot who we had, Brad Johnson as the holder or something. We had to put our quarterback in there to kick a 30-yard field goal. Like it was just craziness, right? So if we won a lot more, and we probably won, maybe 2 Super Bowls within these last 30 years, they would have kept enough players. I mean, they would have kept enough fans entertained that they wouldn't have had that noise, from some Native Americans or from some fans who thought that it was discriminatory and things of that nature. So, winning cures all, to be honest.
Sure it does.
Cures
and everything.
Yeah. And you get a lot of things are highlighted on a team that loses a lot. You start losing a lot, then you have scandals. You got people, in the office, abusing women, drinking and having racial conversations about players. You get a Bruce Allen talking about there's no culture problem when 90-something% of the fans know it's a culture problem.
Culture is damn good, like you said.
Yeah. And Daniel Snyder used him as a scapegoat because there's no way that he didn't know what was going on. And so
why us? Oh my God, why us? Lord Jesus Christ. Why my team? Why my team? So stressful. It's so stressful. I know, like I said, I know football is entertainment. I know it's rigged. I know it's behind the scenes stuff that's going on. I know the refs is doing this to the games and all this other stuff. And the gloves, the magnetic gloves they wearing in the game, and they got the technology and the footballs and all this other stuff. That stuff y'all should look up if y'all don't believe what I'm saying, but that stuff y'all might want to take a look at. So a lot of you fans out there, y'all diehard fans, don't put all of your love into the sport until you actually find out what's going on behind the scenes. Like I said, as long as they can keep making you a puppet and take your money, they're going to keep giving you entertainment. No matter what with this Washington football team, the more games we keep losing, fans still going to show up. It's not going to be a full stadium. Fans are still going to show up because they know we got some diehard fans out there. Fans still love the Washington Redskins, no matter what. We still living in the past. I feel sorry for the younger generation of millennials. They have no idea of the winning tradition that this organization used to be under. Have no idea. A lot of these guys now are coming up and losing tradition. That's the only thing they know is losing tradition. And I would like for our team to actually give the younger folks something. Give them something. Because we all believe, I truly believe 2012, we was going all the way to the Super Bowl. 2012, we was going all the way to the Super Bowl. Nobody, after they got that little hot streak going on, and they won the rest of their games, they went to the playoffs against Seattle. RG3 had a bad leg. They went up 14-0 quick. I mean, real quick against Seattle. They would have blew Seattle out. I believe they would have blew Seattle out. I think they was going to the Super Bowl that year because nobody could stop our offense. Nobody could stop the offense. That read option that Shanahan put in to help RG3 and Alfred Morris was unbelievable. It was unstoppable. Could nobody catch on to what they was doing. And the fans then, like I said, the stadium was packed from top to bottom with fans. Our fans actually came back. That tells you right there, we need a stud at quarterback, somebody that can bring excitement. We tired of seeing these plug and play quarterbacks, these Rex Grossmans, this John Beck type quarterbacks. I mean, we tired of seeing these guys. we just tired of seeing these guys. We got to stop thinking that these bootleg quarterbacks going to come from one team, unless they're the top 3. They're going to come from one team and come to our squad and make us unbelievable. Again, G is not that guy. I'm sorry.
Jimmy G isn't that guy, and I don't know who's better between him and Derek Carr, but I look at them as
I pick Derek Carr.
you would pick Derek Carr.
Yeah, I take
Okay,
Derek Carr.
it's kind of hard for me to say because I know there's so many factors in determining if a quarterback is pretty good or not, right? So you even gotta you can't discount the defense sometimes, right? Because defenses get a lot of turnovers. They might not even put anything on the stat sheet, but they may put the offense in a position where they have a shorter field, by stopping teams on fourth down. You know what I mean? Stopping teams on third down and making them punt. The punter has a lot to do too with the offensive where the offense gets to start at on the field. So there's a lot. There's so many variables.
All phases of the game. Yep.
Yeah, there's so many variables that when quarterbacks like Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo, pretty close in stats, it's hard for me to really say who's better or not because I don't know really who has the better team around them because there's so many factors involved. But I would put them at. I would say that they probably C level average quarterbacks, right? I'm not going to say they garbage because they have played at a high level, and I've seen them both make a lot of mistakes, a lot of interceptions, but also a lot of touchdowns for one reason or another. And so it's hard for me to say who's better, but they're definitely. I would consider them average.
I think Derek Carr is just a little tad bit better. I really do. I think he's better. Like he's more talented. He got the better arm talent as well. That's just my beliefs. Other people can think different, but from what I've been seeing, I think Derek Carr got a little bit better arm talent than Garoppolo.
For me personally, I think I would say Garoppolo has a stronger arm as far as like being able to throw it farther. But I think Derek Carr is a better decision maker.
Okay.
So he can read plays a lot quicker than Garoppolo. And so I also don't know if that's because he's smarter and he can really do that, or if they're coaching him to read plays a certain way. So that's why I say like it's so many factors. But from what I see, it seems like Derek Carr is getting the ball out of his hands a lot faster. Jimmy Garoppolo, he takes chances. He'll stand back there with the ball. He'll try to make you miss. And it works out for him, most of the time. But sometimes it can be devastating, as we saw in the playoffs. Right?
Very devastating.
Yeah. So, but if I had to choose one, I would definitely go with Derek Carr because I prioritize decision-making over arm strength any day. And RG3 taught me that lesson. Real talk, he taught me that lesson because I was all on that bandwagon, and I knew that he couldn't really get it done with his arm sometimes. And he had probably one of the strongest arms in the league.
He definitely had a cannon.
Yeah, but it was like, man, he either didn't get it or he wasn't coached up enough to be able to become more accurate.
I believe he wasn't coached up.
Probably so. From what I hear behind the scenes and everything with the Shanahans, it sounds like, they looked at him as a typical black kid who will never be able to throw and just wanted to use him up. That's just from all the stories that I hear.
It was just too much fame. He came to Washington, he felt like a god. It was everybody looked up to him. It was just too much hype, too much fame. He put himself on a pedestal instead of learning, being humble as a young black man, being humble and learn his craft. Maybe he still will be in the league today.
Yeah, well, they say he was able to go and talk to Dan Snyder and go above the coaches' heads, So that's always a problem, when you don't have a chain of command, right? And that's in any management system, not just in football. That's in any business that you decide to start. If you can't go to whoever your direct supervisor is first and deal with the issue, and your supervisor then can't go up and speak to the next person, you have to start jumping and skipping people that's above you and go directly to the top, to the CEO of the company. That it's a major problem, especially if you if you the superstar worker within the organization that everybody depends on, right? Like you think about it, what kind of issues can that cause? So yeah, man, it's so many issues that this is really just was the icing on the cake for me, because they pulled fans in and they never truly gave us the opportunity to be a part of, this name change.
Yeah, we was never part of it. They just straight lied to us. Like I said, they already had it. I think it was a money thing. I truly believe if they would have actually given us what we wanted, it probably would have took a little bit more money to get the Red Wolves and all that stuff established. But as far as Commanders probably was the easiest route to go, save a lot more money. They probably had to come, they probably didn't have to come out of his pocket with money. But the Red Wolves and the uniforms and all the merchandise and all that stuff, I think cost probably a lot more. But in the long run, I think they should have went with it because that's what the fans wanted. If that's what the fans want, the fans is going to buy a hell of a lot of the merchandise compared to Commanders.
Yeah, and not just that. I think you made a good point, but I also think in the long run it would have been financially safe for them to do so as well, right? How many millions of dollars would it have cost them to purchase that trademark and then fight it in litigation? Jason Wright said, he didn't want to end up, having to deal with litigation for 3 years. Well, say that 3 years of litigation would have cost you, $10 million, right? But if you would have named the team Red Wolves, financially, that would have been the safest decision because you would have gained more than $10 million in revenue.
Exactly.
The you know what I'm saying? With the merchandise that you would have sold, with the marketing that would have came
definitely with the marketing. Definitely
with the players that you would have been able to keep just because your uniforms is fire and your name is the hottest name in the NFL. Like, so who was on their marketing team? Who thought it was financially safe for them to go with Commanders instead of going with Red Wolves, right? Because they're really not thinking, they're thinking in the short term. So like you say, they took the easy way out, but the easy way ain't always the best way sometimes. Sometimes you got to take the hard road.
It was money. It was money. It was all about money. That's all it was. They try to save money.
In the long run, though, it's going to cost them more money. They're not saving money. You save $10 million today, but what is that tomorrow? What is that 5 years down the line?
And he's trying to get money back from his stadium not being packed. That's all that is.
He would have packed I'm telling you right now, he would have packed that stadium out just with the name alone, right? With the name and the uniforms alone. They wouldn't have had to get one of the top 3 quarterbacks of the free agents this year for them to sell that stadium out.
Exactly.
People would have been like, what? Red Wolves? What? You'd have had kids out there. You'd have had grandmothers out there. Everybody would have been out there.
Just yelling, just howling. And people
just yelling.
Just like I said earlier, when I went live earlier, I said people will come back to the stadium just to howl. Just to howl with they fellow Washington Red Wolves. I'm telling you, I can imagine that thing would have been so sweet.
It would have been beyond sweet.
What do we do now? What do we do as a commander? What do we do? Do we salute? What do we do? I have no idea.
I mean, they never even told us that. They never told us that. So they took 2 years and they really didn't honestly think it through because they haven't finalized a lot. We're going to see a lot of changes over the next few years. They're not going to stick with these uniforms. Trust me. They're not going to stick with a W on the side of the helmet.
I heard Jason Rice said they got one more uniform. That's coming.
I guarantee within the next 2 seasons, there's not going to be a W on the side of the helmet. There's definitely not going to be a W on the front of the helmet with the black uniforms. They're going to try to come up with some type of song. They're going to do all these marketing things to try to pull fans in, right? And because right now the fans don't have nothing.
Nothing. They took the HTTR away from us. The fight song is gone now. I mean, we have nothing. People. I believe the fans gonna be like, "What do we need to come back to the game for? Y'all took everything away from us. HTTR is gone. The fight song is gone. Red Wolves is gone. but y'all want us to come and pay them high ticket prices. Y'all want us to come to the stadium and park and pay those high parking prices. Y'all want us to come to the stadium and buy them high nasty food. And then while we're there, try to eat the nasty food. And after we spent our money for parking in that expensive parking lot, we got to worry about having feces fall on us and some people not falling off the side of the stadium.
Bro, it's so much baggage that come along with being a Washington football team, Washington Commander fan, that it's ridiculous at this point, man.
We haven't been this bad. We have not been this bad. I don't know what's going on with this organization.
I definitely know it's poor leadership at the top, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Daniel Snyder, he needs an alpha next to him, somebody who got principles and morals that they stand for, who's genuine, honestly genuine, right? So they're not just gonna lie to you about anything. They'll straight up tell you, hey, I ain't gonna talk about this because it might put the team behind or XYZ, but they'll stand up there and tell you the truth and don't have to lie to you. Hey, we messed this up or XYZ because of this. But what I see is a lot of yes men and people, just coming in collecting checks. I keep hearing that theme as well. Like a lot of people there just, trying to see how many years they can stay, you know what I'm saying, and collect as much checks as possible before they, go somewhere else or get out.
Daniel Snyder, everybody know Daniel Snyder got plenty of money. Plenty of money to spend. And he's so rich, you just don't know what to do with it.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of those guys in the office must be stroking his ego. Right?
Oh yeah, they stroke the crap out of it.
Not really telling them about it. So, so I don't know. It seems like he got a short man complex too. I just watch his swagger sometimes. When I see him up behind the mic, and he's at the podium, like he made a joke doing this making the brand thing. At the podium, I'm trying to think of what joke was that he said.
Something stupid, of course.
Something stupid about his last mess up or whatever. When he was introducing Ron Rivera as the head coach.
He said happy things. He said happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he said happy Thanksgiving, and he said something else on top of that. Something to the reference of not keeping the commander name a secret. It was something to that reference, and he just looked so awkward doing it. And then he hurried up and gave it was like a minute and a half spiel, and then he walked off behind the podium.
He did that because he didn't want the media to tear into him and start asking him personal questions. So he heard him say what he had to say, get a mic up, get out the way.
Yeah, well, that's only gonna last but for so long. He only can hide but for so much.
So tomorrow, they're supposed to be the government's supposed to be targeting us now. The Washington Commanders about the work environment and stuff. So the government is supposed to be getting involved. Of course, they would do that on that day.
Well, I want to go back to one thing. Why would they announce it on Groundhog Day? What was the purpose of Groundhog Day?
Good question. Again, football is rigged. It's all about numbers and stuff like that. So the purpose is, we don't know the purpose. It's numbers. It's just numbers. So they got to do certain things on certain days and certain numbers. I truly believe that. That's just me. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But that's crazy to me, and that's so corny. That's so corny. You're going to do it on Groundhog Day like it's some special day or has some sort of significant value to the metropolitan area or something, and it doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. It's like they're doing things for no reason at all. I guess that was the misdirection they threw at us.
That was so stupid. That was so stupid. And then they did it in New York City. I'm like, why would you announce the Washington football team's new name in New York City as if DC ain't prominent enough?
Don't make sense.
As if DC don't command respect.
It don't make sense. It don't make no bit of sense.
Why would you go all the way to New York City instead of naming it the team down here and holding a big event down here? I'm thinking maybe they decided to run to get away because they knew the fans was gonna hate it down here. Right? They weren't gonna get booed on TV in New York.
I mean, they was at the stadium, but they was on NBC. So I mean, they still could have had it local. It still could have been in the DC area. Like I said, a lot of people would have been excited about it, blah, 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 whatever. But that's another botch that they screwed up on. I don't understand. It got to be Daniel Snyder, man. His decision making, I just don't understand. It's like, give me a headache. It's like, why us? Why we can't just have a normal functioning franchise? People at the top that actually how it used to be. When I tell people we was legit, like I said, our team was nice. I mean, we had, we was nice. I mean, it won't know we're gonna blow out the Redskins or the Deadskins or nothing like that. We was nice. I mean, we was coming to throw the hands.
Yeah.
But like now, there's no respect. Cowboy fans, I saw Cowboy fans today making videos, laughing at the Commanders and stuff like that, saying that we still don't have a name. We don't even know what our mascot is. They just having a field day. They're talking about they're gonna be sweeping the Commanders twice again. It's saying a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's stressful.
So one of the jokes I heard, right, was that they're gonna start calling us the commies, right? And because we wear red and we're down south, they're gonna call us the commies of the South.
Ooh.
So when I heard that, I was just like, what can I say? Right? What can I say? When people say stuff negative about your team, if it doesn't really make sense or it doesn't really have any stock into it, we don't care. It don't, you know what I'm saying? You can say whatever you want to say. When we come and step out on that field, though, that's what we're gonna do our talking at. But when people making jokes and stuff, and it really has stock into it, and you can agree with them a little bit because you don't really like the name, and you wouldn't make some of the decisions that this organization has made, then you feel a whole different way about it. Then it does bother you somewhat.
It does. It really does.
And like we mentioned earlier, it's all unnecessary. But going back to what you was just talking about how the government is coming down hard on the Washington football team, well, on the Washington Commanders, man, I hope they go all the way in, bro. I'm not even playing. That's me keeping it 100. I hope they go all the way in, get Daniel Snyder up out of there and everything. Yeah. I hope they have a bunch of people within the government that hate Daniel Snyder, and I hope they're Washington football team fans, because it's probably the local government down here somewhere. You know what I mean?
I believe his wife. I believe his wife got something to do with it. She probably swinging and all this other stuff. They probably got so much stuff in the organization, man. And yeah, they need to go in. They need to go all the way in, to clean it up.
Look, if they get Daniel Snyder out of here, I'll be happy to come back and watch the Commanders. Right?
I was hoping Jeff Bezos was going to actually buy Washington. I was hoping he was going to buy Washington.
Man, I was hoping he was too. Because I don't know his football IQ, but I do know.
He's a very intelligent businessman. I tell you.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent business guy. So he would understand. He would understand the long-term financial decision of calling us the Red Wolves versus the short-term financial gain of calling us the Commanders.
Can you imagine how sweet our stadium? One of the richest man in the world. Can you imagine how sweet our stadium? The stadium probably so doggone sweet, it probably was floating.
Man, outside of the stadium probably would have been all glass. You know what I mean? You'd have walked up. It'd have been like a pimp saying they would have had fish in the fish tanks underneath the stadium when you walked in. You know what I mean?
Tell you, man.
It would have been crystal dining tables and restaurants inside the stadium where you can sit down and eat. You know what I mean? On non-game days and all that.
Got some legit hoes coming up to you. You know, man. I can see it, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look, this stadium would have been floating in the air. And the only way you can get up into the stadium, you got to walk on a cloud. I mean, that's how much money that man got, man. I'm telling you, man. Oh, the stadium. But it's crazy.
Yeah, man. So
I'm really looking forward to what's next, because they it's like they know something. It's like they so positive. It's like they positive now. They got the name out the way. I'm hearing things like, leaks and stuff is going to come out. Oh, Washington's going to swing big for a quarterback this off season. Okay, who they swinging big for? And like I said, it got to be somebody at the top. Can't be Jimmy G, Trubisky. Those ain't big quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? They going all in. Okay, who they going all in on?
If they go all in, how much are you willing to give up?
Depends on who it is.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm giving everything, just about.
What's everything though? Like, where's your limit at? Everybody got a price.
It got to be 3 ones. It got to be 3 ones in the player. Any one of those 3. Rodgers, Watson, Wilson. 3 ones in the player. Off top.
Well, from what I'm hearing, how long is Rodgers' contract, right?
I think he might got 1 year left. He might. I think.
Because he wanted out last year.
Yes.
Right. And he said at one point he wasn't coming back to play at all for them. So they would have had to give him up for cheap anytime a player comes out publicly and is making those kinds of statements.
So we would definitely have to give up the farm, and we would definitely have to renegotiate his contract. We'll save some here and there. He would have to sign we would have to get him for 3-4 years. You have to sign a 3-4 year contract to actually.
So when you look at the long-term effects of that, right? You say 3 ones and a player. I'm assuming that player is going to be a number 1 player, and I'm assuming everybody is on the table except for Chase Young. So that's including Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, any of them number 1s on the line.
Yep.
Yep. When I look at it and I reflect on it, if Aaron Rodgers only plays for 5 more years, okay, you're giving up 3 ones, that's 3 years. A number 1 player that's young, that's 4 years, and then you're going to have to pay him a substantial amount of money to come here with the team named the Commanders, and no history to show that we've really improved.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're gonna have to pay him a lot of money. So say that's the 5th year. Like, is it really worth it? I don't know.
I guarantee those 5 years would have been in the playoffs.
I think like if we get Aaron Rodgers, for sure we'll make the playoffs 2 to 3 years. I would say 3 years guaranteed if he plays 5 years. But if he comes here and he only plays 3 more years and then retire, and you gave up 3 number 1s, a number 1 player, and you paid him a substantial amount of money for those 3 years, then that's a loss.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying because of his age. Mm-hmm. And if it was like Wilson or Watson, same thing. Like I said, either one of those 3. But like I said, you would rather go younger than older. But the difference is Aaron Rodgers. He's legit. He's just legit. It's just like you're saying the same thing about TB12. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact thing. If there was a chance that Tom Brady, we could have got Tom Brady will come here, you would give up something to get Tom Brady. It is what it is. Just Tom Brady, regardless of how old he is. But the idea is to go younger. To give up go younger and then give up like 3 ones in a player. That makes more sense. I understand what you're saying by not giving up 3 ones in a player to a person that's probably going to stay in the league probably 3 more years, maybe 2 more years, compared to Wilson, who is probably 33, 34. Deshaun Watson, probably what, 25, 26. Aaron Rodgers, 37, 38. Big difference.
So when we look at the history of how like these contract negotiations and all of this stuff work out, I honestly don't think that we're gonna get Rodgers. I think it's gonna be between Wilson, and Deshaun Watson.
Now,
and the reason why I say that is because every team in the league knows that Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be there. But there are going to be some teams that's going to be willing to pay a higher price than others. That is just going to go all the way in. One of those teams might be Miami. You know what I mean? One of those teams might be Indianapolis. One of those teams might be Detroit. And so there's going to be teams that's going to be willing to give up more than we're willing to give up to Green Bay, because, and I know this is kind of funny to say, but they're in like a worse position, record wise, tougher division where they're dealing with all these top tier quarterbacks, and so it's going to be teams that's going to be willing to give up a lot more than us, and Green Bay is just going to give it up to the highest bidder. We got a better chance at Wilson and Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson is going to be a free agent. We might not have to give up much for him. You know what I mean? We might have to give up 2 ones and no player, and we might have to, take a salary cap hit for, a couple of the years that he would have been paid out there in Houston, things like that.
Like I said, we got plenty of money. We definitely got plenty of money. All they got to do, to make any of this stuff happen, just got to negotiate some contracts, especially Landon Collins. Negotiate this contract to give us some money. They got to do something with Brandon Sheriff and some other people. Like I said, because eventually we're gonna have to pay that defensive line. Eventually, you gotta pay Terry as well. We cannot let Terry go. We got to get him locked up. I believe we got to get Terry locked up now.
Oh, absolutely. If they let Terry finish out this year, they let him finish out this year unsigned, it's going to be hell to pay, and they need to look back at history, what happened with Kirk Cousins and so forth, and say, man, you got to get these contracts out. You can look at Brandon Sheriff. We might not be able to keep him because of the dumb decisions that we made in the past.
Yep.
Hopefully he stays, but honestly, for me, I wouldn't even be begging for him. I'd offer him the contract, offer him a max contract, and see if he go for it. If he want more than that,
you got to remember they did offer him a contract and he turned it down.
Exactly, right. But he turned it down because he already was guaranteed. What do you call it? The
franchise.
Yeah, he was already guaranteed his franchise money. You know what I mean? Which I think was what, 15 million? No, it was 18 million.
He still turned down a contract that would have made him. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he did turn down a contract.
Yeah. So because he had that franchise, and I think they offered, what did they offer? 75 million or something for 5 years or something like that. Right. So they offered him a max contract, but he was getting 18 million in 1 year. So that's why he turned it down. Now he got to go to the highest bidder. So there's no more franchise, right? So somebody got to be willing to pay him 18 out their own salary cap. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think teams going to max out at 15 for him, right? And so then he got to think about which organizations he'd be willing to go to for that 15. And does he dislike our organization that much that he want to get out of here? So I don't know what's going on in his head, but I would offer him another max contract. And this time he might take it because he's not going to have that 18 million on the table. And he's going to be fighting for everything that he's going to get in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So how many teams going to be willing to offer him a max contract? Maybe 6, 7.
I don't think too many teams going to, they probably look at him saying is he reliable?
Mhm.
That's one thing they're probably going they're gonna look at before they start offering him a lot of money. Is he reliable? Can he hold up all 17 games? But for sure, Terry McLaurin, they got to get him taken care of this year.
Yeah, they definitely got to get him taken care of this year, and we'll see if that happens. But if it doesn't happen, they're going to lose a lot of fans from that, and they're going to lose a lot of players.
They got to get him taken care of this year because he can be one of those guys that's going to be part of a trade deal. They got to get him locked up. They see Terry, they're going. I keep telling people, you want a big star quarterback, somebody gonna want something in return.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna want Terry.
I remember when we gave up Champ Bailey for Clinton Portis, right? And as bad as I wanted a good running back, I would have said hell no to giving up Champ Bailey for Clinton Portis.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point in time, I looked at Champ Bailey as a Hall of Fame player who learned from Darrell Green. And I know what Darrell Green did for us.
Who's in the Hall of Fame now? Champ Bailey.
Exactly.
What Hall of Fame Clinton Portis in? Jail. See?
Yeah. And see, I actually showed up to the first game when we got him, and I remember he ran 75 yards to the end zone, and I was right behind the goal post. Man, the stadium went crazy. I can't even remember who we was playing, but it was the first game straight from scrimmage, and I remember I was out there with my aunt.
I thought it was
watching the game.
I can't remember.
It might have been Tampa Bay. I think it was. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that, but it was the first game when we got Clinton Portis, and I started thinking to myself, I was like, man, you know what? Maybe we should have got Clinton Portis instead of Champ Bailey. but long term, you know what I mean? Hell no. Mm-hmm. Ain't no way he measured up to Champ Bailey.
Like I said, Champ Bailey, Hall of Famer. Clinton Portis not. But like I said, I think that was a mistake that we made on our part as well, because we had, Champ Bailey, Darrell Green, Oh my God, man! Oh,
can you imagine, bro? That we had that team with Champ Bailey, Darrell Green, Sean Taylor, like, bro, take Clinton Portis out of there, bro. We going to that ship. We winning the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they messed it up.
Fred Smoot came some years later.
Yeah.
Don Springs and
look, Fred Smoot would have been coming off the bench. He'd have been coming off the bench because he ain't stepping out there in front of Darrell Green or Champ. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they messed that up, man. But it's like
money, man. Money make when you got a dumb owner with it, just dumb with money, make stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Stupid decisions,
Yeah.
Real stupid decisions. That's crazy.
Yeah, so
I miss those days, man. I want us to get back to our winning ways so bad, but it's like what is stopping us from getting a winning product, putting a winning product on the field. Everything we blaming is Daniel Snyder. We blaming everything on Daniel Snyder. Everything. I don't see why it's so hard for them to go out there, find the pieces that they need, especially if the person's a free agent, and go get him, no matter what. I'm tired of seeing these guys coming to FedEx or wherever they go to meet up with higher ups for a meeting, interview, and leave. I can't stand that. If a player is willing to come to your squad for an interview, he don't supposed to leave. If the person you're targeting agree, like I said, because they gotta agree. They can't just all right. You can't just make them come. They gotta agree to come to come to the meeting, the interview, whatever. If a person that you're targeting agree to come to you for dinner and all this other stuff, and y'all go over blah blah blah, and you want that person, that person do not supposed to leave without a signed contract.
Not at all. If you want that person, if your negotiating team is good enough, you're supposed to leave with that player.
Yep.
Period. Everything is up for negotiations. There's so many ways that you can work the money around in the NFL contract now.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
If you make the player comfortable enough
some stuff,
to want to be here, money shouldn't be the issue, right? If you making him feel comfortable enough that he want to come here and he believe he could win, there's certain incentives that you can put in the contract. There's certain negotiators who are, people's people and can talk to people and negotiate with people and be honest with them, be realistic with them. It's certain ways that you can make it work. The NFL contracts are public, so everybody knows what they make.
Yeah.
So you can sit down. If you get a player to come into your stadium or into your office, into your headquarters, and talk to you, you know what I mean? And they have their advisor with them. There's no reason they should leave without that contract being signed. And don't give me an excuse because they wanted too much money.
Especially if you want them.
Yeah.
You want that player.
Yeah. No, they only wanted too much money because they don't believe in your philosophy. They don't believe in you as a man. People don't just, when you work at a job, right? You enjoy that job, not because of just the job. You enjoy your supervisor. That's who you working for.
Facts.
That makes your day. Right? That's your determination on if you getting up and you happy to come to work or you not happy to come to work. Right? If you got to deal with a bunch of BS or somebody who's a micromanager and always on top of you or always talking about your faults and your issues, you're not happy going there, but you will go there for the paycheck because you need that paycheck. Or that paycheck might be good enough money that it's just, you might not be able to find that fairly quickly or whatever, or it's taking care of you here and now.
Facts. You're right.
But if you love that supervisor, you love that culture, you love that environment that you in, man, you would deal with a little bit less money just for that peace of mind, for that satisfaction, that happiness. You know what I mean?
So with that being said, do you I'm not gonna be too much longer. Do you feel is there any player out there besides quarterback that you think we should go after for sure? That if we go after this, if we go after a certain particular person, a quarterback will come here. Or is there anybody that you would actually go after? Me personally, I go after a wide receiver. I go after Davante Adams. That's just me personally. We go after Davante Adams, we bring him in, and we sign him. We can get any quarterback we want to come here.
I'm be honest, I don't necessarily believe that. I see a lot of really good players out there, a lot of players I like. I don't think one player makes the team.
Think about it, Chop.
Unless it's a quarterback.
Think about it, Chop. Think about if we would have signed Davante Adams with this roster.
If we signed Davante Adams with this roster,
look at our receiver core, man.
I mean, it would help. It would help in one team in a quarterback wanting to come here, but I think there's so much else going on with this organization. I think just the name Commanders that they're gonna have to look at on this piece of paper, and it's gonna get them rethinking about all the other faults.
Yeah,
I don't think Davante Adams gonna cover that up, right? Davante Adams could get hurt. Like players all know this. Players are superstitious as well. So they actually are some of the most superstitious people on the face of this earth. Traditions, things they have to do, put their clothes on a certain way, preparations they have to make the days before. Like, players are very superstitious with, and have a lot of traditions and things of that nature. So that's why, but now it's different if you get a quarterback, then Davante Adams would want to come in. You get Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams going to want to come here and play with Aaron Rodgers.
Definitely.
You know, you can start naming your wide receivers then. You know, Terry McLaurin, he'll forget about the name Commanders. You get Aaron Rodgers here.
Oh yeah.
But now, if you do it the other way around and you get a wide receiver, the quarterback know they make the team. They know that they got to get the ball to him. They like Devontae Adams ain't more important than none of these quarterbacks, and they know that. They know in 2022, they know it's a quarterback-driven league.
Facts.
So
that is true.
So, and a lot of these quarterbacks feel like, you know, they could go to certain teams that got good wide receivers or wide receivers who they might not voice out loud, but who they might think is better than Devontae Adams on the low, or who they think might have the same potential, and they feel like they could get it to him next XYZ. But now Devontae Adams, he feels like he needs a certain type of quarterback in order to maximize his potential because the ball has to get to him. So, you know, I think it's more so we got to get that quarterback, and then we can get whatever wide receiver we want to pick, period. You know,
I said that for a reason because I just want Aaron Rodgers, man. I want Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams here in Washington.
That would be nice.
Crazy.
If they get Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, I think they immediately become Super Bowl contenders. You know what I'm saying? Immediately.
Yes. Man, oh my God, can you imagine our wide receiver core, man? Who you gonna guard? Who they gonna guard? You can't guard, they can't cover Terry.
Well, I'm thinking about the defensive side of the ball once you do that, because Aaron Rodgers can sustain drives. They're gonna sustain drives, and the defense is gonna be so you know, refreshed. They'll be probably one of the best defenses that we've ever seen. And that's what I think like a great offense can do for you. Like, so that's why I say it's so many variables. You get an offense like Aaron Rodgers, and with this defense, because trust me, I don't think this defense is garbage.
No.
I don't think they're the best either, but I think they will look like the best if you have an offense that's that good.
They had a fall. They had a down year because of the coach. Jack Del Rio did a terrible job.
And injuries.
Yeah, he did a terrible job calling plays. No blitzes. The schemes he was running wasn't right. People all out of place. They had what's a young buck name? They had the rookie at middle linebacker, which he shouldn't have been that middle linebacker. He should have been weak or something, so he can just roam freely or whatever. And because of his speed. I mean, I don't know, man. Our defense, I was so disappointed. So disappointed. We fell off that.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the first year that I probably only watched maybe like 4 games this year. And this would be the first time in my life that I really like didn't watch almost every game, you know.
Wow.
And that's just how much how disgusted I am with this organization.
That's crazy.
So,
that's crazy. You know, wow, that's crazy for our defense to fall off like that from top 3 to the 30s. It just don't make sense. You know. And really not losing people, so it make it seem like by us losing Ryan Kerrigan was the glue to our defense. That's what it made it seem like.
That does make it seem like that. You know, I know it's a lot of other factors and stuff happening behind the scenes, but yeah, it definitely seemed that way. And honestly, I felt like we should have kept Ryan Kerrigan. Like, and Ryan Kerrigan was willing to negotiate his contract and all of that. He just didn't want to be coming off the bench. And I'm like, look, in this day and age, what does it matter who comes off the bench and who don't come off the bench? Make Ryan Kerrigan the starter. He plays the first series. Chase Young or Montez Sweat rotate every other game and come behind him. But Ryan Kerrigan got to be producing too. You got to tell Ryan Kerrigan, hey, look, if you're going to start and you're going to get this many snaps or whatever the case might be, you got to be producing. If you're not producing this much, just understand that this is a business decision here. You got to be willing to be a man and own up if you're not producing. Like, just be genuine with them. Don't make like this ain't about who's the teacher's pet. You know, you got to be real honest with these guys and set the expectation up front and say, here go the stat sheet right here. I'll sit down with you one-on-one and watch the video, the film with you, and I'll show you why. So you understand this ain't personal. This is just that you're not producing. This person is producing, right? And so you got to earn that spot to produce. And as a man, I think they respect that a lot more. It's a numbers game.
Being honest.
Yeah.
Be honest with these guys.
Yeah. Why go behind their back and start a whole bunch of stuff that you ain't got to start? Right? Well, I just don't. Man, I'm done, man. I don't get it. I don't get it.
A lot of people today jump ship. I talked to a lot of Washington fans. Like I said, I was listening to 106.7 The Fan with Brian Mitchell and JP Finley. They was on there. A lot of people jumping ship. Commanders, the name just Commanders just was it. That just took them over the edge. It took them over the edge, and I was like, wow. I heard people say, I'm going to the Chiefs. I'm going to the Red. One guy told me, which was funny. He said, I can't deal with this no more. I don't know who it was. It was somebody. I forgot who the person was. He said, I cannot deal with this no more. We're the Commanders now. He said, I'm going to the Ravens. At least I can. He said, I'm going to the Ravens and I'm taking HTTR with me. I said, oh, snap. He said he's taking HTTR with him. I said, okay.
Well, see, I jumped off the ship, but I ain't jump onto another one. Yeah. I'm just not going by their merchandise. I'm not going to watch as many games. I'll tune into some. I'm not going to help put money in their pockets. Like, I'm going to try to kill their pockets financially as much as I can. But I can't really be a fan of another team because I just
yeah, me neither.
I don't know, right? Like, I can't really even explain it, but I'll never be a fan of another team.
It's just the love you have for your squad, man.
Yeah,
what you grew up on.
Yeah, but yeah, so I don't consider myself a Commanders fan, right? Because I don't support them financially and all this other stuff. But there's not another team that I would become a fan of. So now I feel like I'm just a person without. I feel like I'm just a. I don't even feel like I'm an NFL fan anymore. I feel like I'm a football fan.
Wow.
In life, period.
Yeah, that name took a toll on a lot of people, man. It did. It took a toll on a lot of people today. I mean, even though the leaks was out, everybody. I mean, we still was hoping and wishing it would be something different. Nobody really wanted Commanders because we're like, what are we commanding? I mean, come on.
The name just don't roll off the tongue easy either.
It doesn't.
It sounds so stupid, and you hear people say it, and it just sounds different ways when you hear it. Commanders.
Like, what is our nickname? I mean, we gotta have a nickname. Like Redskins, we were Skins. Like, what would our nickname be? Saw some commies and all. Like, no,
man. I don't know, bro. I mean, when you got people who when you gotta, I don't even know if I should be putting it all on the owner. I think he do deserve most of the fault because of a lot of stuff that took place under his watch. But honestly speaking, I know it ain't just his fault. So would things be different with a different owner? I think so. But it's just so much baggage that this was the icing on the cake for me. And when they chose this daggone name, it almost gave me a headache. So
I know I won't happen, man. I was just staring at the screen like I was like, my God, man. Like they didn't even think to listen to the fans. The fans was going to bring you the money.
Well, my thing is they had the audacity to lie. So if they had came out and told the truth, I could have respected them and stayed on the ship. If they had came out and said, look, we thought what was financially best for us was to go with this name, XYZ, because we would have paid X. I would have been like, okay, I feel you. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, you said you thought that was what was financially good for you. I believe you. I believe that that's what you thought, right? And that y'all chose the name, not trying to say, okay, the fans chose the name. Like when they start reiterating all those same lies that I've been hearing for years and years, it tells me that it's the same old thing. It's a, you know, they may have changed the group of people around them, but they still got the same type of leadership.
Same old Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate your brother coming on, man. We gotta collab some more, brother. We gotta collab.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I know you be busy and all that, but I appreciate it. Terror Squad, what is going on? She's a Hayes Skins fan all day. What's up, Jessica? Cowboy fan in the house. Finally, y'all show up. Finally, y'all Cowboy fans come from that suicide watch y'all was on. But I do appreciate you guys. I do. I love all you guys for coming through. Shout my brother. I appreciate it, man. I am about to end this live. But I thank you guys for coming through. For those who just came in, thank you for coming in. You know, good to see you guys. But if you haven't, make sure you go ahead and smash the thumbs up. Thumbs up button is free. I cannot do this without you guys. So without you, there would be no Skins fan. I'm not changing my name either. So I hear you guys keep asking. Terror Squad said the name is garbage. See?
Yeah.
I understand.
Hey, definitely don't change your name because the Commanders probably be changing their name a couple more times. So ain't no need for you to keep changing yours.
That would be crazy if they that happened. The name gets changed again.
Yeah,
to the Red Wolves. That would be crazy. The name get changed to the Red Wolves, make the fans happy.
Yeah.
But I appreciate again, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate who else came on? Who was Merle? Did Hawk come on? I can't remember. Everybody came on the panel. Merle, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. Love all you guys. But don't forget, guys, always remember, you got to keep your head up. Don't let nobody steal your joy. I'm the one and only Skins fan all day. To my left, my homeboy Chop Shop. Good to see the man on the panel. He got great insight. This brother need to collab some more. He need to get on a lot more channels and put his name out there. You got a lot of insight on this football squad now called the Commanders. But I got a question for you guys. Thank you guys for coming through again. But the question is, I'm going to ask this question and then I'm going to end it. So do y'all still believe in Ron's plan? Peace out.